Aho! Ho'oponopono, Jabagwan, Namaste. Welcome aboard, my friends, my family. So happy to have ye all gathered here with me. I have so much to share with you and so much to channel to you, so please be patient with me. I am currently traveling on the way to my work in Cassadaga at the Purple Rose, doing psychic readings at the one and only Native American shop in the city. And there's also a haunted house, or museum should I say, that is a gallery full of artifacts if you actually know what you're looking at. And I had this realization recently that really excited me. So when I truly noticed this piece inside the museum, inside Cassadaga, was, I'll just say it, okay? So you know how in ancient, you could say, I want to say traditional Chinese medicine, or it's really their medicine, not so much like the acupuncture aspect, okay? Though I don't know if you know, though, in their culture they have a toad with a coin in its mouth that's gold, right? Like the prosperity coin, or I'm pretty sure there's I think it's called a bagua. I'm still new and at the tip of the iceberg of this stuff, you know. My initials mean TCM, and I've had some really interesting past life regressions, or should I say quantum healing hypnotherapy. I had that experience, and I went so deep into my subconscious and accessed these particles of myself that just made so much sense. And I do have videos recording some of these experiences. I wonder where they are. I might have just only uploaded holding space. Yeah, so there's so much deep stuff, okay? And if that's all new to you, please look into that. That's years back on my channel type thing, you know what I mean? Though all this is coming back full circle. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This toad, in my personal opinion, I had imagined was Bufo alvarius. And that the gold coin symbolized all the wisdom, all the knowledge contained within all the directions, and all that different stuff. And how the toad spoke to you. You know what I mean? There's no documented cases, right? This is an ancient secret. It's not it's everywhere, practicing the Amazon, Cambo and ayahuasca and all that, right? However, I do have this new belief system and love and passion for what I call animal spirit medicine. However, animal spirit medicine for me also comes in just a blue herring coming in my viewpoint, you know, or a raccoon, or different symbolisms. Possum, some of you may know for me. Some of you go way back with me and sincerely know me deep levels, since I've been marketing myself since I was little, right? From MySpace days. Some of you have just been there the whole time. And some of you have even been there before all that, you know what I mean? When I decided that this was what I was going to do with my life, that I was going to do this. And I'm so grateful to finally be in a position, right? Where this is what I'm doing. I said, this is what I wanted to do. I came up with a way to do it, and now we're doing it. And now I would like to bring this dream even more alive, okay? And that means I would like to do one-on-one in-person interviews with people, okay? And have someone sitting beside me. And yeah, I have a particular vision on how I would like the shot taken, and how I'd like to work with the aspects of capturing the essence of whatever this moment is. You know what I mean? It's more than just somebody hey, hold my camera. You know what I mean? Though sometimes honestly I'm that talented, okay? Not to have super ego, though let me give myself a little bit of props medicine, right? That self-encouragement, that confidence. If there's a camera and I have an idea, if you're zoomed in, or you know how the camera shoots itself, how the the GoPro works, different cameras work different ways, right? DSLRs have different viewpoints. If I can see behind the camera and hold it against you, you know what I mean, use you as my subject, I can mirror, and sometimes I can tap into the camera and feel and connect and really know what I'm expressing. I'm very hypersensitive, and I've always taken pride in that art and that skill of pure perfection, you know. And photography like for me, was easy, which turned me on to the videography because it was so much harder, you know. And like there's still aspects that like I haven't mastered and that I'm still dabbling with. However, there's also those who work behind the camera who like I have a connection with, you know what I mean? That like I feel like without telling them what to do, that they truly see me, they hear me, they understand my intention, like what I'm doing with my body and my life and like what my desires are, you know what I mean? They take like weight off my load because usually I'm having to do everything, right? Like be camera person, do stunts, like do this, do that, come up with the ideas of like what the concepts are, come up with like the captions or like write the words that go with that stuff. And like for me it's just been an art, and like a lot of things like sometimes came easy, though sometimes like it took some thought and some consideration. And then like as I develop myself, you know, there's judgments and like witnessings of the self that like frankly aren't of my own, you know what I mean? Like clearly it was of me to be of these ways as my past self. I'm reflecting upon my like personal soul character, like my personal like choices that I made on a soul level, even with like had gathered select information, like what I had done with my life. And you can just go based off of like what feels good, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like evil and like storylines of history, like you're a bad person if you do this and this. It's like, no, genuinely, how do you feel in your heart about you know what I mean? Like I can make like extreme examples, you know, like let's say somebody took someone out, you know, and then let's say that like it was someone who had like you could say hurt a child or like, right, or like created some type of like physical abuse towards that child, okay, or emotional, or all those, you know, I don't have to express that sexual energy. However, you know, like already, like what's happening in society and how people are thinking and taking advantage of each other, and how like this subconscious programming has happened to so many people and desensitized people. And like people don't understand how like individuals can be targeted. Like the only way that I can explain it is that like if you research something on your phone to find out the answers, and then I research on my phone to find the answers, we're gonna get different results even if we use the same search engine. I like also describing it as like if I was to tell a story about something that happened when we were together versus you telling a story, like, you know, our words would be very, very different. Doesn't make either of us bad. However, it's just a different form of heart or center or energy, or like there's a lot of different words for expressing all the same thing. It was also coming up recently having to mention how like, you know, I like to joke that Rome took over America, right? And like the Roman Empire lives on, and like all of our language has been changed into being like this certain way of being. And it's like talking about how everything about money has to do with water. Like currency, deposit slip, loan shark, underwater in debt, float me alone. I'm struggling to think of more. Though, like, you can look into it yourself. I had first heard this, I believe, from the mouth of Jordan Maxwell, and also my dad, of course. And I'm very grateful to be like filled with this education. Like other people are like, why do I need to know that? And they get like really offended and scared and like taken back because they're like, what can I do about this? Oh my God. And like a lot of people don't believe in God, so like there's not even that really, right? Oh my God, I'm 5 minutes early. Like, do you know how happy I am? I need more animal pelts. However, their energy has to feel good. In Native American tradition, we believe in animism, connecting to like the soul and respecting it even when it's no longer, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in injuring the animal to take for like my personal gain, you know what I mean? Like, let it live, and then like when it's time, you know, when it's natural. However, some people are specifically like breeding things just to like make those things, and I don't necessarily think that that's good either, to be completely blunt. Because imagine if that was your purpose. You can think about your purpose. Think about 3 people that you come across. Then imagine you dropped to the floor right now and you went to sleep and you never woke up. Now, what was your purpose in their life? What did you do? Everything that you did, that was your purpose. Literally. Like, you might want to try to paint stories and only focus on one part of it, though it was all of it. And then you can imagine, like, me also disappearing. Now, what was my purpose in your life? What did I do? What was I worth? How much would you pay to bring me back? Like, imagine if we had everybody's back like that. Imagine how much we could, like, truly enhance each other's lives instead of being so brainwashed and thinking, like, all these things that I'm not enough, or, like, I also don't necessarily believe in, like, money being everything. It shouldn't be so, like, tricked that like, work and, like, you know, selling your soul, basically, right? Like, you're using your time and your energy to do these things. I do believe we should collectively work together as a society, and I do believe that there should be, like, different shops, you know, like, some people value or, like, are capable of making certain delicious foods. Some people are amazing at, like, working with animals and gathering honey, or, like, some are good at planting seeds, some are good at remembering to water the garden. You know, like, everybody has, like, this, like, innate intelligence, and we're all so focused inside and in the self and in fear, we forget, like, what we're doing here and, like, the bigger picture of the ancestors and going way back. And somebody pointed something out to me that kind of, like, really kind of shook me up, to be honest. I'm like, I'm eating lipstick, but I don't see any. 9:58. So somebody told me how, like, in the Bible that Adam and Eve, that they have 3 sons. And then the question came up of, like, okay, so how was there a creation of more people? Okay, and I'm not saying that all these texts are completely accurate, okay? Though, like, it's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg type thing. Because you need a chicken to make an egg, and an egg to make a chicken. So it's like you need a woman to make a man, and a man to make a woman, you know? So it's like, It just makes you have to think, okay? Just has to just reevaluate and rethink, like, everything. Like, how did we get here? What are we doing here? What's so special about this place? You know, some people are really focused on just the people. I just feel like it's a mass amnesia, and I don't think it's necessarily our fault. You know, I do believe that there might be a generation of people who have been gathering information over the times and that are, like, nearly hoarding information, like knowing certain things about the brain and knowing certain things about the body and the human experience, instead of, like, sharing, you know, you could say the great mystery. Not that they have it all figured out, or that, like, the whole group knows or anything like that, you know what I mean? Man, I can't stop itching. I'm so, like, chewed up by bugs. So bad. I can't stop itching. I can only imagine the bacteria under my fingernails too, right? Rawr. Especially once I actually itch the bug bite out. You know that I am filled with love with you. We both have so much love to share for the entire world. Should I say us all? I just feel like we should be paying attention, and that something that needs to be thought about is how we can't really look at history as a whole, right? Because like not all of us have existed that long. Though like some people can actually grasp this idea and concept of like nothing like this has ever happened before, and ever, where every country just shuts down. And we're on lockdown, and there's this invention of nanotechnology, and we've been being sprayed with chemicals of metals, and there's an attempt to get away from the sun, and like every religion worships the sun, and Corona has a connection to the sun. If you Google the meaning of Corona, there's so much more. I feel like I need to talk about this at another time. Until next time, Jabagwan, namaste.